I think I went so hard on Thursday and Friday that like Saturday and Sunday I couldn't do anything. I couldn't drink on Saturday. I had one beer with my lunch. And after that I called it a weekend. That was my 4th of July was Thursday and Friday, and I went hard. Like I went hard as shit. Yeah, I felt real patriotic, man. I felt real patriotic. I saw fireworks. I had some good barbecue. What did I eat? What did I eat on Thursday? I was at my cousin's. I ate this really good like 6-layer dip. Oh my God, that shit was good. I had rigatoni vodka, sausage and peppers, pulled pork, barbecue pulled pork. Oh my, it was just so good, man. And just sitting there drinking. I had Miller's, the Rocket Pop Twisted Tea, because you know how you can't have 4th of July without Rocket Pop. Busch Light, some Busch Lights. Might be my new favorite beer. I'm not gonna lie. I want to try the Busch Light Lime really bad, because the Busch Apple, I have one more left. I've got one more left in my fridge, and then it's bye-bye until who knows when. Took them 3 years to bring it back. I don't know why they don't just keep it. Like, why not just keep it? I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense. Because people like it. People like the flavor. They enjoy it. Like, it's a popular thing on TikTok, and everyone talks about it. Like, why not just keep it? Like, do you lose more? Like, do they not make money off of it? Is it just too much for the production? Because I know Busch Light isn't like a, you know, you're not going to walk into a restaurant and, you know, get a Busch Light. You know, there's a lot of beers that like are specifically for certain bars or liquor stores, like a Beck's or like a Summer Shandy. You know, there's just certain beers that you're not going to get at your everyday bar or your average bar. So maybe like it's too much. The cost of production is too much. I don't know. But if I were Mr. Busch, I would bring it back. I would say, hey, listen, the Bapples, we got to keep them. And the limes, people are saying great things about the lime, the Busch Light Lime. I don't know. I don't think I've had Bud Light Lime. I think, that's Corona Lime. Is there Corona Lime? I think so. I don't think I've ever tried either. The Blime though, the Busch Light Lime looks pretty decent. But yeah, I got one more Bapple left in my fridge. I don't know when I'm gonna drink that. It's kind of sad to see it go. And yeah, it was a good day. And I got home, and what did I do? What did I do when I got home? Oh yeah, I was really drunk. I went to White Castle. I mean, just fucking. I only eat White Castle when I'm drunk. I don't crave McDonald's. I don't crave Wendy's. I don't even crave, Taco Bell maybe. Wawa maybe, but I just don't feel like walking into Wawa, you know, like with my eyes crossed. So I don't do that. But something about that fucking White Castle, that crispy chicken. The burgers are kind of nasty. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've had a White Castle burger in a long time, but something about that crispy chicken, that just fucking, the fries, just something about it. I don't know what it is, but every time I'm drunk, I need it. It's like, and Taco Bell too, low key. And then when I woke up, I ran it back. I went in the shower. I grabbed a Twisted Tea, and I drank a Twisted Tea in the shower. I sang some, what did I sing? What was on my playlist? I think some Drake, some Pixies, Here Comes Your Man, Travis Scott, Nightcrawler, Apple Pie. I think some Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Some Calvin Harris. I had some Kesha, We Are Who We Are. The remix though, really great song. Avril Lavigne. Yeah, I was singing all that in the shower. That was a great shower. Best shower ever. 4th of July, something about showering on a holiday is always 10 times better, because you know that when you get out, where you know what you're going to do once when you get out the shower. The family's coming over, or you're going somewhere. The food is going to be there. There's going to be some drinks. Every time it's a holiday, you know exactly you're going in the shower because you got to be somewhere fun. You're going to be having fun in a few hours. So I'm going to make sure that I'm squeaky clean. You know, I smell like freshwater citrus, or, you know, ember bark campfire, whatever the fuck, you know, whatever the flavors are. I mean, the scents, not flavors. But yeah, that's the great thing about showering on the 4th, man, is because you know once when you get out that bitch, you're going to be, a hot dog is going to be in one hand and a beer is going to be in the other. Or if, you know, you're a woman, a sangria and a mozzarella tomato salad. See, the one thing, that the mistake that I made, though, is I ate way too much. I ate so much food that every drink just didn't do anything. So I just kept drinking until like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I had some friends over. You know, we might have kept the party going a little too long. At one point I was doing push-ups in my dining room with everybody. Everybody was just doing push-ups. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then right after that, everyone left. So what a way to end the night. What a way to end the 4th of July. Doing push-ups in my dining room after drinking for 12 hours. That was fun. Great. I mean, the food was so good, bro. I had burgers, hot dogs, and I came up with this idea. I told my dad, I was like, yo, listen, bro, you got to do shrimp, chicken, and chorizo skewers. And he did it with like Cajun, and there was like peppers and onions on it. It was the best skewer food I've ever had. You could skewer a lot of things. You could put a lot of things through those goddamn, what are those called? Skewers. No, there's a name for it. There's like the stick. What's that iron stick? The metal stick. Something. There's a name for it. You can skew a lot. Gyros, lamb, you know, they got the gyro skewers, the salmon skewers. But when you get a nice barbecue, just perfect, like cooked to perfection. But yeah, that was fun. I really love hosting. I love hosting, and that's why I hope one day like I have the kind of house that you can really host stuff at, because ever since I was growing up, that's always been like, you know, what my house was known for. My dad always would be the one cooking, and it would just always be at my house. Every holiday, every, like, you know, big time, whatever, it would just be at the Scana residence. And I think I took that after my dad. And it doesn't, something about it, like the hassle of hosting, even parties, even when it gets like a little crazy, like it doesn't bother me, because I think one of the best things that you can do with your time, or just, I mean, well, I think one of the best things that you can do with your hospitality, or your residence, you know, the best thing you can do with your generosity, I guess, is host events. Bring people together and have them, you know, have them be together and enjoy each other's presence and food. And just, you know, it's always good. I think, like, especially if you're a guy, if you're a man, that's something that will work to your advantage in a lot of ways, with like, if you want to network and stuff. I think being the host, don't run away from that. Some people think like, oh, it's so much work, it's so much hassle, but it really isn't. To me, it's not, at least, because I have people over all the time, and my dad always, you know, ingrained it in me to always make the holidays like a big deal, because you never know when you're going to get that again with everybody, because people die, people go, people lose touch with other people, you know, family members drift apart, and, you know, you never know when you're going to get that same group of people again in the same room having a good time, just all with one mission, and that's just enjoying each other's company, because it's not always going to be like that. And so yeah, I take that after my dad. He was always great at it, and I'm a pretty damn good host myself. I will say this: I had a summer party last year, and I had a banner up. It was called Midsummer 2024. Hopefully, I can do that again. I had fun doing that. It was just like a barbecue. Really, really cool. I had a bar set up. So yeah, if you have a house, always make sure that, you know, you look into hosting stuff, because it is very, very important, I think, for like keeping connections with people, because, you know, not everyone wants to do that. Not everyone can have people over. Not everyone can have people in their space. You know, you don't know what they have going on in their life. You know, sometimes their house might not be big enough, or they just don't like it. So if you can host, do it. If you can have people come together for a holiday or for like a dinner party or something, do it. Don't ever pass it up. A Friendsgiving, it's a great time. I'm telling you, it's worth the hassle. It's worth the time you spend cooking and cleaning. It's worth it, I think. So I believe that like memories are the most important thing in your life. The memories that you create with family and friends and stuff during times like this, when it's the summer or if it's a holiday, it lives with you forever, especially if you can capture it in the moment with like a camera. If you got like a digital camera, or you can print it out, print pictures and make like a scrapbook. Dude, I have so many scrapbooks of like really fancy ones too. Like my grandma has one that's like it's a cool little booklet thing, and there's so many photos in there. And it's like, I think about being older. Like imagine like getting older, like you're in your 70s, or like, you know, you're up there, you know, you're like playing ding dong ditch with Jesus, you know, and like, and you look back and you can look back at old memories, old photos, like in a scrapbook, and just see that when everyone used to be like young and like you look so different. It's like, holy shit, I can't believe that was James. Holy shit, he's got no eye now. Like, oh my God, like look at Oscar, bro. He lost that left leg. He doesn't have his left leg anymore, but in the photo he had his left leg. You know what I'm saying? You know, you look at like, oh damn, like that's Nicole. Shit, she's a lesbian now, you know? Yeah, and you can look back and you can see how everyone changed. And, you know, some people you look back, you look in photos and like, wow, they're not here anymore with us. You know, they died, or, you know, they moved or something. It's really crazy what photo, like how, when they say like pictures worth 1,000 words. So true. So true. I look at photos like when I used to go to Delaware every year with my family, and I was maybe like five. This was maybe from when I was like 5 to like 8, I want to say. So like from like 2008 to like 2011, I think we went on like trips to Delaware. That's about the time frame. And we would rent 3 houses. I think there was 3 or 4. And we would have a house, me and my family, and we could fit like up to like 10 or so people in there, 10 plus. I mean, I'm talking like big houses. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what kind of shit was going on. I don't know where this money was coming from, but it was a big ass house, and like a big beach house. And my aunt and uncle would have one, I still remember it. And it's so funny because my parents just the other day went back to Delaware and they found the old house, and it's still the same. It's a different color now, but it was a big yellow beach house with a big ass driveway. They had a huge deck that like wrapped around the entire thing. And when you went inside, I'm telling you, it was the biggest bar you've ever seen. I don't know if it was just because I was like 3 feet tall, but I still remember it was like the biggest island, the nicest kitchen. It was the nicest living room. And they had the deck. They had all the bedrooms. It was like, I'll never forget it, bro. It was some of the best times. And like, I'm talking like extended family, like second, third cousins, like just everybody went. Everybody. It was the best the best. And, you know, those are the kind of things that when you're a young kid, you think that, oh, this is just normal. Like, everybody gets to do this. I remember thinking, you know, this is, oh, like, I didn't think anything of it. Like, we're going to Delaware again this year. Like, June was coming up. I forget when we went. I think it was June or July. And I was like, oh, time for Delaware. And when we stopped doing it, you kind of realize, like, wow, that was like something that not everyone gets to do. It was a lot of money and a lot of people, a lot of time taken off work, and but it was worth it. It was just, those are the things that you do to create the memories for your kids. And my parents were able to do that. Luckily they were able to do that because, you know, I know that, you know, growing up, sometimes you don't get that experience, even a vacation, let alone a whole fucking week trip with your whole family. And it's so crazy because I never see I never see half of those people anymore. I haven't seen them in years. And I think about them sometimes. That's why I was saying, like, the memories, like the pictures and those, like, if you're able to print out pictures, or if you're able to put pictures in like a memory book or something, adventure book, whatever, do it because it will really it'll make you reflect on the life that you've lived so far, and maybe you forgot how lucky you were. Because I'll look back and I'm like, holy shit, where's that guy now? Me and him were like, we're vibing, like my third uncle or something, my long lost cousin. Forgot what his name was, but I'll never forget. Me and him were just chilling. He was like my friend for like 3 days. Never forget talking to him about, what was I into? Like drawing and painting for like a week, and surfboarding. I was like, I wanted to learn how to surf, and his friend was a surfer, and I haven't seen him in years, but it's like I'll never forget, you know, the memory that he gave me. Seems so insignificant, but it's like, that was your life at one point. You know, that was your life. I'm sure, looking back now too, when I think about like right now, I think about like 10 years from now, I'm like, damn, like I'm gonna be thinking about the shit I did now with my friends, and it's gonna hit hard. And I hope that I'm able to keep them in my life, and the people that I hang out with now, I hope I'm able to keep them in my life. And I hope that we're going to be able to do the same things to an extent. You know, people are going to have kids and a family and stuff like that, but I really hope that we can create the same life for our kids together. That would be a dream come true. I think that's like, you know, everybody's goal. If they have the people to do it with, 100%. Those were the days. Delaware, bro. My God. I'm telling you, like 50 people in one house, in one beach house. We went there. I remember one time we were there for my uncle's like 60th. Yeah, I think it was his 60th birthday, if I'm not mistaken. God damn, my dad was like, that means my dad was like 48. That's so crazy. My mom was like 44. They were so young. Looking back, like, did you look back too? And like my brother was like young as fuck. My cousins were so young. They were like teenagers, man. Yeah, we were there for my uncle's 60th birthday, and I'll never forget that. It was a good day. It was a good day. It's so crazy. I haven't thought about these like in depth in a long time, but it's like bringing me back. And it's crazy because I think, you know, maybe in like a few years, who knows, we'll do that again. And maybe I'll have a kid. Like maybe, you know, my brother has kids in like 2-3 years, and I have kids in 3-4 years, and who knows? And we do that again. I'm not saying that's what I want, but I'm just saying, like, you know, you never know what happens. You never know like who you meet and stuff. And maybe we run it back in 4 years. They were saying my grandma was taking shots of tequila down there, and like, yeah, everybody was just having a good time. Yeah, you don't really notice it as it's happening. Like as the years go on, you know, everyone really looks the same. Like I look at everyone in my life and I'm like, they look the same to me, because it was, you know, obviously you're not going to notice it because it's years. But when you look back, everyone looks so different. And that's obvious, right? I'm stating the obvious, but it is kind of crazy how like you look now and like you just can't see a difference. Like I look at my dad or my mom or my brother, my aunt, uncle, cousins, whatever, family, friends, they just look like how they always do. But you look back at a photo and you're like, holy shit, you had colored hair. Your hair wasn't gray, or you were fat or you were skinny. I do this thing a lot where I look back on like years of my life, especially recently, not really so much, pretty much after COVID. I think I've been doing this. I look back at like 2020, 2021, 2022, 2022, 23, like last year, everything, every single year after COVID. And I think about, because my memory's a lot more vivid. I think like during high school, my memory's shot. But like I remember, like I'll look back and I'll look at like by month what I did in like 2021, like how January was, how February was, what changed in my life in March, like what changed in my life in April, like who did I meet in July, like what lesson did I learn in November. And I look at it as like this chronological sort of like movie almost, or just like a book kind of. 2021, I graduated high school. So it went from being home every day, almost every day, and like January, February wasn't that interesting. It was winter. I was home and like doing school through Zoom. And in the summer of that year, we were hanging out. I was hanging out with my friends all the time. We were having, we did this. We went down the shore this day, and I was working at this spot, and I met this person. And I look at every year like that. Like I've been looking at every year. I just like to look back and just kind of see how the year changed me and how my life changed, because it is so crazy how much changes in a year. Like I look back at this time now, and the people that I know from like at this point last year, the people that I know, the experiences that I had, the lessons I learned, it is so crazy to me. And it really does shape you like as a person. And I also kind of look back and I say like, wow, like 2024, I was doing this stuff and I was, acting this way for the benefit of that, or I was doing this for, because I found out that that's better for you, or that's better for the people around you, or it's a healthier thing to do. And like 2023, I'm like, holy shit, I wasn't doing that. I was way off the rails. Like I was like, how did I not know that was bad for me? Or how did I not know that how was I missing that? How did I not know about this? Like, I know I'm going to look back at 2025 and I'm going to say to myself, wow, like crazy fucking year, like crazier than any year before that. Just everything that's happened, like all the shit that went down, but it's one of those years where I feel like everyone has this, where like you really, really grow up. Like you really learn the hard way about a lot of things, and you understand that it's like the coming of age year, I think. I mean, everyone kind of has one maybe when they're a teenager, one when they're maybe in their 20s, maybe two in their 20s or three, but you always have, there is that year where you look back and you can say that's when everything kind of shifted, my mindset, my attitude towards life, my, expectations. You kind of get like a reality check. Yeah, that's what happened for me in a lot of ways, in so many different things and areas of my life. And you really start to understand like you're growing up, but you do need that. Like the things that you're scared of happening to you, the things that you don't want to experience, the things that you dread, the change that you fear, and you dread, the unknown that you dread, it needs to happen, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable for everybody. It's just, you're growing up, you're gonna go through, certain shit that you don't want to go through, and you're gonna go through amazing things. You're gonna experience new things that you didn't even really expect to experience, and it's like that's what balances it out. And I met new people. I did things that I haven't done before. I tried things I haven't tried before. And I am so appreciative. I even the hard things, even the things that made me, feel like shit, even the days where, I felt horrible and I felt the pain and the ache in my head and in my heart and just in my soul, and it was just crushing, and I just didn't want to get out of bed, and I just didn't understand. I didn't understand why it had to happen, why certain things had to happen, but if nothing else, just wait. Just wait a few months, wait a few weeks. You will understand why it happened. And you just kind of realize that you couldn't have learned certain lessons any other way. You couldn't have experienced certain things any other way. You had to experience them like that, You got to experience them like that. So that's important to just keep in mind. Like, why did it happen? Because it had to. Why did it happen that way? Because it had to happen that way. Just trust me. You don't understand it now. I mean, a part of you, I feel like, does understand it, but you just kind of wish that it wasn't that way. Or you kind of wish that you could have had more. Or you kind of wish that you didn't miss out on this. Or, but just know that everything that happens, it had to happen that way. You will understand it later on. And listen, everything, and I tell you, I mean everything that I look back on in the past 4 years since I got out of high school, everything that I didn't understand in the beginning, or I didn't understand when it was happening, or, whatever, I look back and it all makes sense. It all makes sense why certain people are not, in my life anymore. It makes sense why certain people are in my life now. Yeah, I think about how somebody that I knew in high school that I wasn't really close with, like my friend Skylar, for example, didn't really talk much in the beginning of high school. Then we got closer. And, I remember when her favorite football team is the Bengals. And I'll never forget when the Bengals lost in the Super Bowl, she was devastated. She was so devastated. I've never seen her like that. Yeah, I've never seen her cry like that. We were all at my house. I had a Super Bowl party going on, and she was just there, sitting there, just crying. And I went up to her because I know exactly how it feels. I know exactly how it feels, and it sucks. It sucks. And, I was talking to her, tried to make her feel better, and I guess she did. So, but that was nice. That was a nice moment that I had with somebody that a few years ago I had no idea that I would be even friends with them. And then just this past year, when the Niners made it back to the Super Bowl, I was the one that was fucking bawling my eyes out because it took us 4 years, bro. 4 years to get back, just clawing and coming so close every year. Championship game. And then we finally make it back. And we're going to beat that little fucker, that little Kermit fuck, that Patrick Mahomes, that fucking cunt. We're going to get our revenge on him. And what happens? We lose. We lose again to the Chiefs 4 years later. I'm 21 now, and I'm crying like a bitch, dude, in front of the Huz. In front of the Huz, too, which was just... But you know who was there for me? Skylar. Because she knew how it felt. Spins and roundabouts. Everything comes back around. I was there for her when the Bengals lost, and she was there for me when the Niners lost. And that was a very good, special moment in our friendship. And it's like I said, looking back, I just think about how I was like a teenager, like a freshman, and I didn't even know she existed. We went to the same school, and it's just that kind of stuff to me is... It's all connected. We're all connected, bro. The background on my phone, my home screen, is this quote that says, "Somewhere something incredible is waiting to be known." And even in the suckiest of times, the most ass moments, there's something good in them. There just is. And in that moment when I was just sad as fuck, I couldn't believe it, and I knew that we probably weren't going to be going back anytime soon. That was our one shot for me to really experience, the Niners winning it all. It sucked. It was so bad. But in that moment, my friend was there for me. She was there for me, and I'll never forget that. So the yin and the yang, man, it's real. The little bit of good in the bad, little bit of bad in the good. Like it is, I think it just keeps your perspective wide. Like it keeps you looking at the bigger picture of it all. So that's good. What else? What's something else that I learned? Something that this year has taught me, looking back as we hit the halfway point, is that your expectations will never meet reality. It just will never. Because you know why? Because you had an expectation. Having an expectation alone is what kills everything. I think comparison, expectation robs you of true joy and bliss. So just don't do it. I promise you, every single time that I can look back and I can say, yeah, in that moment, I was truly present. I was truly enjoying the moment, the present moment. Stuff worked out for me. I got something that, I didn't know I wanted or needed, or I got something that I can look back on and say, I'm glad that happened. I got an experience, that I can say I'm glad that I experienced. Every single time that I was picturing exactly how it was going to go or supposed to go in my head, or I kept saying it before it actually happened, or I kept saying, yeah, this is going to happen, or that, it didn't go the way I planned. And I think, people can kind of mess up the whole manifestation kind of thing, or the whole, I truly think that the only way that you can manifest or really detach is when you do not expect anything to happen. Like you don't even talk about it until you're actually doing it. You don't expect it until you're actually in the moment when it's happening. You just are truly grounded in the present moment. And you have certainty that whatever happens is the exact right thing that will happen, that should happen to you, or that will happen. And that all comes down, like I said, that all comes down to your expectation and how you view it. Like when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you change your outlook as overall positive instead of waiting for it to be positive or expecting it to be positive, it changes everything. Like I have been teaching myself, and I think I've pretty much gotten there, that everything that will happen is good. It is the right thing. Even when I feel like I messed shit up, or even when I feel like shit didn't go my way, I still look at it and I'm like, and I don't even mean lower your expectations. I mean, truly do not have any at all. At all. Don't. Like I'm telling you, I promise you, like when you are grounded in the moment and you forget about everything that you were wanting to happen or needing to happen, it literally comes to you. I promise. It's so true when they say that. And I'll never forget, it's so weird. This is such an odd thing to compare it to, but I think it's kind of interesting. I remember when this isn't like something huge or anything, but it's just, I remember when I was driving one time and the group chat was going off, and I was just seeing if I can catch, I was just bored. I was just seeing if I can catch on my Apple CarPlay, like when the notification would change, like when the number would go up, when the message would change, when I would get a new message. And it was at like 260 something. And I kept looking at it and I was waiting for it to go to 268 because I wanted to see it change in real time. And it would never go. Every single time I was looking at it, it didn't change. But when I kept my eyes on the road, where I'm supposed to be looking, it changed. I looked back and it went up. It's so weird, bro, how that works. It obviously it's just probably a coincidence, but maybe not. Like maybe there really is some sort of because obviously you're supposed to be looking at the road. Look at the road. Pay attention to what's in front of you, not what's to your right on a screen. Maybe that's the lesson. I don't know. But I just thought that was interesting. So, when you focus on what you're supposed to be looking at, you keep yourself busy. You do what you know needs to be done. Even when there's nothing to do, you know that there's something that needs to be done. I'm telling you, that shit is so true. Stop distracting yourself, man. Do not look at, even when you're at work and you think that, I got free time. No, you don't. You don't. You know that there's something that you should be doing. All the time. When I was in school, all the time I would be like, I got free time. No, I didn't. I was fucking missing 7 assignments and I could have been doing them in that moment. But no, I wanted to talk. I wanted to look for other things that were going to give me some quick rush of feeling nice, some dopamine. When you're bored, when you got nothing to do, when you lack ambition, you're going to look for shit to distract you. And even I can even say this, people who distract themselves with work it's also not good either. I'm saying, like, do the shit that needs to be done. Your room is dirty as fuck, clean it. You need to do laundry, do it. You need to talk to that friend, do it. You haven't spoken to that relative in a long time, do it. You told yourself you were going to do 3 laps around the town, do it. You told yourself you were going to go pick up this thing, pick it up. Like, stop avoiding the little small things and looking for little rushes of dopamine. Stop. I'm telling you, the second you do those, you stop procrastinating those little things, everything that you want will come right to you. Even if it's little as doing the fucking laundry. I'm telling you, I had that ego death and I was free in my mind. What I was wanting came to me in so many ways. I have so many examples, man, and I wish I could get into specifics, but just certain parts of my life that I know I need to keep to myself because they're special to me and I want to keep them special for me and the people that I think deserve to hear it. So, but just know that it's true what I'm telling you. Yeah, especially with that ego death thing that I said. I think I experienced it. I think I actually experienced an ego death like a year ago, around this time, like in August or September of last year. And I'll never forget, like, the best way that I can describe it is FOMO completely left me. I didn't think about anything but and I don't mean this in like a bad way. I mean, I didn't think about anything but doing everything for myself. I didn't want to do this. I didn't do it. I didn't want to go here. I didn't go. I didn't want to say that. I didn't say it. I did want to say that. I said it. I did want to go here. I did it. And I completely let go of, I completely shut out any eyes or ears. That's the best way I can describe it. I don't know if that's ego death. To me, that's what it feels like. That's what it should be to me. That's my definition. FOMO completely left me and I did everything for myself. And I was so, like, I don't know what the word is, like at peace. Like I was like at like this just, like I didn't fear anything. I had no fear. And I'm trying to get back to that because the last few months I've been on this high of just being just degenerate and just, living it up, I guess you could say. But I know that I need to come down and just start really having some tunnel vision because I don't like when I get too off the rails. I don't like when I get, I don't like when I start lacking focus on my ambitions and, my fitness and stuff like that. So I think I'm coming back to it. But yeah, man, it was a weird, strange feeling, but it was a good one. They said in Donnie Darko that self-destruction is a form of creation. And when you self-destruct, when you tear everything down, when you make the dumbest decisions, or like when you completely tear yourself down, the only thing you can do is build yourself up again. As a person in general, not even just as a man, but you kind of have to fuck it all up a little bit. You kind of have to just like, I'm not saying, get addicted to shit and like do, cocaine and, and then go full Mormon. I'm not saying that, but you kind of have to lean into, the bad habits a little bit. You kind of have to lean into like completely letting go of yourself in a way for you to really kind of bounce back in the best way possible. But the tough part is keeping that linear, is not going off the rails again, or not going, so hard one day and then just completely crashing out the next. You got to find some kind of balance. I'm like, what's the point of even doing anything? If I'm not going to do a full workout, what's the point? But in reality, doing a 10-minute workout is better than not doing anything. Like, think about it. You say one day you're not going to work out, okay, at least do 50 push-ups, at least. That's it. 50 push-ups or walk around somewhere. I don't know. Like, it's that easy, because even if you're trying to start working out and you're so weak and you have no muscle whatsoever, 10 push-ups a day, every single day. Watch how quickly in 6 months how you're doing 100. It's like the small habits are so important. And I say this a lot. Like I've been realizing too that a lot of the things that I do on social media and, with the content that I make, sometimes I overextend myself so much that I burn out. And I didn't realize that that's what was happening. But I would try and get so many videos done at once. I would try and get so many posts done at once. I would be editing 2 things, 3 things at the same time. And I would just be like, dude, I can't do this. I'm trying to write a script for this video. And I'm like, my mind is everywhere. Now I've been like taking it as, okay, I'll do this for 10 minutes. I'll do this for 10 minutes. I'll do this for 10 minutes. I'll do that for 10 minutes. And I get so much done in 1 hour. And now I can leave it for the next day, and I'll do that the next day for 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here. And I just keep slowly kind of adding more. And then eventually I get it done and I'm not burned out. Small, consistent wins is the best thing for you. Easily. Even, dude, like I even said before, like making your bed, cleaning your room. It seems so insignificant, but you start your day with a shower and cleaning your room. It will change everything. Wake up a little earlier. Like, try something different. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we got to wrap it up. A little quick one. Just wanted to splurge some thoughts on here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'm from New Jersey. Gabagool, Tony Soprano, Bruce Springsteen, your sister's ass. See you in the next one. Peace.